And with that, we should be live. Hello, hello. Oh, I'm feeling a little exhausted right now, but excited for today. Before we begin, I'd like to do a quick catch-up of where we left things off. So I'm just going to run through the clips that were made last week. And then just to get the flow again of where things should be today. Okay. Right, so I did start working on setting up the heel, thinking about those cool rails. I do recall trying to sort of get the balance for the toes, so maybe we'll look at more of that today. Yeah, I do remember that being a big one that I need to figure out in terms of, I guess I need to sort of maybe get a better idea of what the anatomy, or what things anatomy I'm looking at. So I think this is probably where I want to do a lot of the work today, is just to fill in the middle section that connects this, because I think there are going to be two anchor pieces, the flat of the foot, and then this other section. I guess wouldn't call it, because the ankle would be somewhere here, right? So it's like that whole joint that connects to the rest of what would be the calf. So it's definitely that. I know we left things off with me setting up this piece along with that flat piece, so we'll continue with that first. Yeah, I think this is when I was figuring out the clearances. But a lot of this was really nice because you can already see like some of the lines here that I was setting up. So it's going to have some nice sort of flow with the language of the curves. I do remember that being a really important one as well. And this is when I was winding down and I was sort of looking at starting to solidify these main pieces, because up until that point I was just working with fragments that I was putting into place. So I started to now make them real concrete pieces, just so when I'm flexing the movement again, I'm getting a better idea that this is going to work, because at least now I made a commitment to where the movement will be. So I just need to make sure that the geometry allows for that movement to at least look realistic and not clip into one another. Yeah, but this was the last thing I was working on. So what I'm going to do, because I think you can spot it here, that it's not really aligning. So I just want to, before I even start the whole stop and start recording thing, I just want to do a whole lot of cleanup and just orient myself in terms of how I want to attack today, because I do realize that the big difference between this project and the other two is that a lot of the direction of where this project is sort of set up is already set for me. So as complicated as it is, even at this stage, it's still kind of fun because I've got most of the roadmap set out. Like I know it's a foot, and I know I have a very good idea about how the parts need to interact with one another in terms of motion. So a lot of the really thinky parts are just around making sure that my I'm getting a message from YouTube. A lot of the geometry is resolving well enough in terms of the intersections. So like that, this for instance. See, that's the other thing I was also thinking about. It probably would be a good idea to remove some of this in case I do want these toes to curl in a bit. I think just having that option would be good. I think I can get rid of this. I think I should... maybe I should just leave that for now, because I might want to use that later. Okay, so for this... okay, so this is what I was working with. I just want to finish that, and then I can look more closely at the rest of it. Okay, so I don't know why they do that, or why they're off center like that. But what I should do is probably just pick one and mirror it. So I don't have to worry about figuring it out. So I think I'll go with this one. So I'll just take that, mirror it. That's interesting. Okay. And then I shall... okay, so I'll just apply that. Okay, then this didn't need to move, it's just this that needs to move. So I shall take all of that. And then what I'll do, yes, that's what I'll do. Select these two. It's selected. Set that so they should now both be... okay, so that's that cleaned up. Just want to do a bit more. Why is it not snapping? Or is it snapping? That doesn't look right, does it? That definitely doesn't look right. Why is it not? GX. Okay, that's very strange. I suppose it's because I don't have one of those selected. Active, that's right. Okay. I won't really fiddle with those as yet, but I will apply Yeah, this is getting tricky. So I'll do it bit by bit. There's no rush really. If anything, I probably should have done the mirror. I guess I can still do that. I'll do the mirror afterwards. But at least now I should be able to get this figured out. I don't know what it was about last week, but it was great in terms of finally being able to break my Patreon streaming curse. A lot of it was just to do with, I guess, you know what, the thing is though, I figure it out, but then I don't research it at the time because I don't think to, and then only when I retell the story do I realize maybe I should have looked it up. So when I told the story, I could also get an explanation for why it happens. But the issue with what was going on with Patreon is that I think I've learned that depending on the color and the lighting environment, the files behave or put a different kind of strain on my machine, or I guess the machine in general. And what was happening was that I was getting some heavy stuttering after like the 7 to 8 second mark of the sped up clip. So if I recorded anything more than 2 minutes, it would mess up the clip. It wouldn't be like a nice quality clip. On top of that, that was part of the symptom of just this heavier demand it was putting on my machine. So I think 2 streams in a row, no, not in a row, but I definitely had 2 streams that were cut short. The first one, I think I'd set everything too high. Or I think, because I work with 2 OBSs, and it really, you need to be careful about the order in which you close them. I now know that I gotta close my streaming one last, so that the next time it opens OBS, it inherits those settings. Because if I do it in reverse, I don't know what it is though, because I have different settings for stream and settings for recording. So that's right. It would just do this thing where it would just inherit the wrong settings anyway. So I ended up streaming in 4K as well and recording, and having 2 OBSs running at the same time doing that sort of work was just too much. So I caught that last week. Ended up being a really great stream. I also dealt with, actually let me just show you. So I ended up dealing with an issue I was having with the design, because I'm using the same base model that I used for the drone synthesizer. There were some elements that I was running into again, just as a design habit, and I really wanted to solve them for this design project. So I'm trying to find a clip that actually just shows it. Need to check to see if you see it. Yes, you do. Okay, so this pill type shape is something that I was running into, and I really wanted to get a better looking solution than what I had, because I ended up just dealing with something that was so... Actually, no, this is the wrong one. This is the week before. This isn't last week. Okay, so I did all of that. Yes. So I think last week I was scheduled to start working on the hinges, because these are panels, right? but I couldn't shake this feeling that this particular part here, I was going to run into that same issue where I was going to do like a sweep of sorts that was going to be very untidy, and I really needed it to be something that would be more interesting. So in the middle of working on these hinges, I had that feeling that just said, no, address this first, because while I'm working on this, I'm still looking at these, I'm like, it's giving you that weird sort of design anxiety where you're gonna mess it up. So I started to work on that, and I had this idea, if I just reduce it, I always have this idea where if I don't like something, then just physically reduce it. So I did a inset and then a negative, and then cut that as the boolean, just to reduce the actual area of the thing, and adding a chamfer, which would give it more dimension. So you're not only looking at it head on or at the top or on the side, you're also seeing some of those elements on that. I think adding that 3-dimensionality to it reduced the mass of it, of this flat face, and also just give the light more things to do. And I just think the final result of it is just something that looks so much better. And I can't wait to apply this same sort of language to everything else, because that's one of the cool things when I attack these projects without a plan of sorts. Like it's like a weird sort of duality where it gets intimidating and more exhausting, because you're now trying to do design figuring out work while modeling at the same time. But as soon as you find little things like that just like make a thing you don't like work better, you can't wait to apply to other places, because that's how the language carries through. So that's the sort of thing I'm relying on finding with this particular project, is that I'm not worried too much about figuring everything out, because I know that eventually I'm going to stumble upon the right sort of thing that's going to carry it, if that makes sense. It's going to be like the worst sort of like weird limbo momentum where you're not really sure what to do, but you give it enough time, it will reveal itself. So this needs to drop. I think there's a good point up to that, because I need that clearance. So what I'm going to do, what I'm going to do now is I just want to do a clip where I just start showing the merging of these two. And it would be nice if I could also just figure out how I want to close this, because as I said, the foot will compose of two main parts, and I'm just realizing now it has to be 3. So it's going to be this one. Geez, how did this one rotate? Uh-oh. No. Crap, how did this one rotate? Ooh. I have forgotten. Wait, I should see it though. Oh, there we go. So there's going to be, because you see now this is dependent on this piece, right? But then because we've also got a heel, I got to think about, that's what that placeholder is there as well, because even though it will rotate on the toes, but excuse me, that's that main hinge there for the toes. I also wanted to give some, to be able to arch it, so there needs to be a separation at this point. So if anything, yeah, okay, no, that's right. It will be that this will be the extent of this first main piece. So this ends up being what I need to dial in, and then that'll be I'm also just making my peace with the fact that today's stream might not be one where I make a lot of modeling process, but I really do want to at least have figured out what it's going to be doing, because I think once I get that, then it'll be a huge sort of like burden that would have been sort of shed. Because right now, like I said, like I'm modeling blind and just hoping that it comes to me. But I should be a bit more proactive about how that happens, because I do already know what needs to be done, like that sort of section that I need to cut that. I'm not going to do that now. And as nice as I think I will cut it at this point as well, just to get that curve back, because I thought about just as soon as it flattens out at that point just going straight down, but I think cutting it at that point would be nice, just so it gives you the sense that it's a circle. Okay, so it's going to be that, and then that'll be piece 1, and then that same point will be combined with, I might need to reduce that, but then that's probably not going to be that shape anyway. So there will be a hinge there, and I imagine there will be a hinge there too, so that these two pieces, so when that lifts at that hinge, that this arches, that might that will stay as it is because it will be hinging there, and then when that arches, that'll probably get pulled in, but that can still stay flat for a bit. So I've never done that kind of responsive rigging. I've seen people do it where you have an anchor point that you use to sort of move it around, and the secondary limbs respond to the solidified ground plane or whatever. I think this will be a cool project to learn to do that. Because so once if I create an empty and then I left the whole foot up and down, it has like a semi ragdoll effect to the foot. That's not just a static solid thing. Because that would be nice for animations and stuff. Okay, so what I'd like to do today, I think if I can just get to the point where I've gotten these parts, if I can get to the point where I'm good on what this needs to be, then I would have done great. So for now, that can chill. I don't need to worry about this actuator, but for this one, I would like to get an idea because I do that now. I know that that needs to anchor itself somewhere here, and in order to do that, I think it's so weird. I need to look at it in isolation and together at the same time. So, alright, and I also wanted to keep this because I liked that widening on the outside, because that narrows a bit on the inside, or a lot actually. Oh, this is raised. Does this stay? I don't. Oh wait, hold on. Why is this here? I think I thought about deleting this actually. Yeah, I think that needs to go. It's not really doing anything. Yeah, no, it's just there to make it complicated. It's not doing anything. So what I'll do is I will remove that and just move it. Whoa. Oh, so there are things that are parented to this. Interesting. Why have I got things parented to this piece? It should be parented to that piece. Okay. Okay, so I'll hide it for now. I'll figure that out later. Okay, so things I can definitely sort of cover and get right today. this main piece, which I think is really important to sort out. I can join this element and close and clean that up. Yeah, I think this can also go. Actually, no, maybe not go. I just think that there's a niceness to that shape that it wants to do something else, somewhere else. Yeah, so I'm stripping it down a lot, but I think it's all in the name of just making it make more sense now. So this will be, yeah, let's just get stuck into making this work. Right, okay. So I need to now set up, no, I think what I need to first do is just, maybe because what I'm trying to avoid is to figure it out on its own without thinking about the rest of it, but I kind of do need to isolate this on its own and see how that closes. Because that needs to be open there, but I also want this to be because I need to close this. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lift this up. But at the same time, I also just want to, rather than making that flat, I think it would be nice if I could mirror. Yeah, but it's not running on, wait, this is, no it's not. Okay, because what I wanted to do was to mirror this to that side, but if it's not, then let's actually see. Now that we learned that we can set our own yes, I can do that. So what I should do is I should then take that, do it to the center, and then do the same here. Then see now, if I were to, but I also do remember this not working towards the end of the second piece, so I don't know if I need to be oh, I guess I needed to do that. So let's remove that and then let's add that. So now it's on the edge. Yeah, it's still, what? Really close. But why is it? Okay, I think maybe the rotations are weird. So that's 0. 10 AD, can I make that 0? That should still be right. And then, whoa. Okay, maybe it's the cursor. So I'm gonna say set origin to geometry. So close. I don't know why it's angling up like that. Cursor to selected. So maybe if I have to apply rotation, and then, because it would be very good to figure this out and just get to a point when where I can do it reliably. Where's this thing now? So remove this. I'm just wondering now, how do I... Why it won't... Oh, okay. Use. Override previous. Use view. Use the current view instead of the active object to create the new orientation. No, that's not what I want. Use... Sorry, I've got weird lines on my screen that stop me from seeing this. Okay, will it... Why is it at 45 degrees? Because if I do this... No, yeah, it's... Oh, okay. Well... Oh, okay, no, it's doing it to the view. Cursor... The cursor is still staying... The local is still... And then global will be the global. The view is just going to remain whatever this is. So maybe there must be another way to do this. Okay, I think... And there's no way to modify this. So if I select the edge, let's just see. Use view, override previous. Use after creation. I'm thinking that says. Okay. No, it's not gonna... It's so wait, hold on. It's so weird though how the first time I tried it, it worked. But now... it... So I'm gonna go... What if I do apply all transforms? Do I not have it here? I'm in edit mode. All transforms, set that to geometry. Because the thing is, okay, and what if it's a face? Go. So if I delete this and then I go add, it still won't do it. But it is at least okay, and if I do this, ooh, oh yes, okay, that makes more sense. Okay, so now if I take that and I set the origin to the cursor, local. Hold on. So this. So I can set it to the face there, and then obviously I'll be able to move it. Wait, hold on. So can I not just do a SZ minus 1? Was it the wrong one? SX Y Z SZ minus 1. Is your rotation off? So do I need to apply the rotation? I think maybe that's what I need to do first. So apply a rotation. Apply a rotation. So now if I go SZ, I was really hoping. Okay, let's just do this. Because I mean the axes are facing the right way. It's just a matter of now getting this modifier to pivot. Maybe it's in the options. Ooh. Oh, bro, this view is really getting me. Man! Local, simple. D. I wish I could set more. That's what I really need. And you just need to set more under these orientations because it's only locking it to these standard ones. So it's excluding all the custom ones. Okay, maybe if I just add a mirror mod normally. Oh, okay, see, that makes it a bit simpler because... Did I delete that face? Oh, there you go. I can just say... I mean, that's cool, but that's not really what I'm looking for. Or maybe I'm the one that's misunderstanding how this is supposed to be working. Because that is... That is right. Huh? That is such a weird relationship right there. Okay, so... Your rotation should be zeros. Your rotation should now be zeros. Mirror object. Yeah, but I think... This is a weird... Again, this is one of those things that if I could just get it to unlock that way. Because if I go SZ, oh no, GZ. It's so weird how it will move in the direction I wanted to, but when it comes to scaling in that direction, like -1, like you'd think that would just, hold on, if I go RY, (180), and then SX -1. I am not a fan of figuring it out this way. Because, I mean, that's one way to... That's one painful way to do it. Because then I can now just sort of join them there. But man... Because that's going to be a nightmare to sort of record, so I don't want to be in the business of trying to figure that out. Okay, so what I can do now is I can just, I think, yeah, I don't think this is going to be recorder friendly, so for now I just want to prioritize getting this done, and anyone who wants to see it can just look at or watch the stream. This will be a nightmare to try record, so forgive me, future viewer, if you wanted to see this slickly time-lapsed. Because as I said, my priority for today is to get this done. And then I would join with whatever, but I think so I can just join that. We can go back to global. Actually, that would be the better join. Or actually, okay, we can say this would be the better join. But I would ditch the other stuff and then I would join with that. Because that's really all I'm after at this point, is just, rather than spanning across and straight down, again, it's another chance just to reduce the mass there, and then I could, right, because this also now also needs to be GX or SX0. Okay. Yeah, no, that was a nightmare, but you know what? Maybe I just need to look at documentation or something to see, because I'm pretty sure what I was trying to do was very doable. and there must have just been an option that I didn't. I'm also just wondering if there's because this is the Boxcutter mirror that I'm used to. Maybe there's just something there that I've never tried before. But that gives me the effect I'm after. So I guess I do need to keep these, but it's nice that at least my old school hacky ways of doing things can still work in that regard. And there's enough of it that works still. So I can close this. And what's nice now is that I don't have this weird off piece. It's nice and rounded here. So I can delete some of this. Yeah, I can delete some of that. But then what I'd need to do, and then this can just... Oh, that is a very good question. What happens there now? Is it more of the same? If anything, right, so I've also got a difference in height here, which I don't really want. So that's also, is that perfectly flat? Doesn't look that way. I gotta check it here. That doesn't look perfectly flat there either. Okay, so SX0. Should. I will try to leave some of this for the recording segment. It's good for the continuity. Okay, these can all be the same. But there are just some things that waste too much time trying to and this is the first time I am saving since I started. In an hour, imagine losing an hour's worth of work. The way oh man, the way. It wouldn't be a crash out, it would be something else. It would be an old school breakdown. Okay. I'm liking this though because I think that these little sort of like sweeps are going to be really nice rather than just plain like spans. It's this though that I need to, because what I'm tempted to do is to take this segment here and apply it there. But I must not get ahead of myself. Okay, so what I can do now, let's just inspect the last clip again. Yeah, it was just me getting to that point. What I can do is I can maybe place myself up here somewhere looking this way, and unfortunately we will not see how that got there, but that's what I can start cleaning up. And then, because I'm really interested in extracting this as its own segment, I think that could be really interesting there. And then what this also lets me do is I don't have to commit to this height anymore. I can stick to this height. And then as long as I just bring that down to what this also lets me do something I now need to see. I need to yeah, so these need to be tied together, because then that goes there, so that needs to go, because I want to keep these as the contact points rather than doing the full height. So I've got to do the same thing here. So these should close. Oh, that's not good, isn't it? Oh, I guess it happens here too. Okay, so then I'm gonna do that. SZ0, GZ, and I think that's you too. And then GZ. Yeah, so that can't happen that way. And you close like that. Okay. There's a weird height disparity here, but ultimately all of this so SZ0, all of that needs to be at that height anyway. And then so all of that is just consistent. This geometry can go. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get it to a really nice point today. If it's just this part, I think it'll make for a nice independent piece. I just gotta make sure that every part of it is neat. I mean, it is unfortunate that this is not a perfect mirror, but given how, but can I make it a perfect mirror is the question. Because I was already able to see, that's a, I think, well, what would have been nice if there was a way to rotate, like it's like a two-step rotation, right? So I'd have the element selected, like let's say I got this selected, right? Then I'll hit my rotate. It's almost like I put like, actually probably you can do that, because you do have a double rotate, but that rotates it on like a free axis within itself. But what I'm thinking about is a rotate where I hit rotate once, or like maybe like a shift and an R, and then I select a vertices. So let's say I wanted to select this one, so I press R and then I click on that, and then I'd click R again. So now I can rotate and snap it to a thing, because then what that would let me do is I would use my reference face here to rotate these. But I'm sure that's a tool somewhere. It might very well be a tool available in Blender. But I need to explore that a bit, because that would be so useful right now just to set that up. But again, I wonder if I can't just achieve. But let's see what this ends up giving. Okay, so I've got that mostly set up. What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to join these two, clean it up into its own closed piece, and then see what happens, because I also want to look at closing that. So this might fall away, because I'm going to be doing, so I'll do that, and then I'll do Alt X, that. Was that a copy? Yeah, it is a copy. Then I'll do that. That's interesting. That's cool. Okay, but not what I'm after. Oh, what did I do here? Okay, so what I'm after here is I need to select that and that, because it is selected. Set origin to 3D cursor, and then just, oh, that is cool. Whatever it is, I'm down. It's like a little wishbone style thing. This is cool as hell. See you later. Not what I intended to do though. That's what I was after. So at least now what I can do, and this I can include in the recording, so I think this is a good part of it, because I think what I'd need to do, as much as I'd really like to preserve that, especially for that corner, it is going to be a nightmare to try rotate that. I could be wrong, but I think for now let's just focus on this. Okay, so let's put you there. I think that is good. Okay, and then I had that. So that's all of this that gets hidden. This would have been a good opportunity to put these into their own collections, but this works for me too. Okay, so I'm going to keep that. I just want to put you centered. Yeah, it's nice because you get a sense of where that was, and then I get to continue from that point. Right. So one last check on where things were. Perfect. So I had that piece selected. So I can just select it like that, and then I can just continue. So I think it does need to be a higher angle. Okay, I'm happy with that. Just want to use this first clip to test the limits of what recording can look like. Because this is one of the safer projects, but I also just need to be careful that too long and it starts to jitter. Dude. Okay, that was a long stint, but here's hoping that it worked out. Okay, so while that's going, yeah, I know this. Okay, let me change the angle first, so at least that's set up already. Really does make for a much interesting piece to keep them like this, but I think no, I do need to do it. It needs to happen. But now I'm just wondering if so if I take that there and it comes back up, which I think would be good. So I essentially take this element and I overlay it there, and then this that closes out that way. All I need to do is just fix that into a circle again. And I just need to figure out, so that's just, I think these are 16-sided. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I just need to make it 16 again, and then join, clean up that topology there. Do the same this side. Because what I'm thinking about here is this particular section. Because you've got it going lower to follow the outer side. I suppose it does the same there, but it would be nice if it was a bit higher, like at that height. So yeah, essentially I'm taking that and mirroring it there, and then it can drop down using this element to then continue on that height there. So it steps up at this point. and then steps down again to go on the outer edge. I also think it probably would have been easier just to set these particular elements up from scratch with the correct orientations. Hello, Ronaldo. I think that's... hold on, let me move my... nope, that's not it. Renlido. Oh, hold on. Renlidao. Hello. I think that's how I said it. My goodness, I probably butchered that. Okay, so let's inspect the clip, the moment of truth. Because I'm hopeful that this one lets me go a bit longer. Yep. This project just gives such good clip. Okay, so at least we got that. That's working fine. That's great. Okay. Now, I just need to make sure that I'm still live. Once I see myself closing this video, why am I not seeing myself close the video? Okay, there we go. There's a bit of a delay. Okay, now what I can do, or now what I should do, so I'm going to continue with just cleaning this piece up. Because I've got the runway to do it in terms of how long I can record for. So I'm just going to clean this up nice. Again, this is a nice sort of standalone piece on its own, but I really want to make... because what this ends up being is this is one half of it, and then this is the other sort of like, it's like a... what do you call it? It's not specialized, but it's very specific. Whereas this could be something a bit more generic. So I really do like these specific pieces because they sort of set up a lot of the wider design language that you need to work with. So yeah, I'm just gonna work on that one. Really happy that this first clip came out nicely. So at least I can go a bit longer in this project. So that's a great thing. Okay. Oh crap. Okay, no, it's fine. Delete. Okay, let us be of the going with the next one. Okay, so that's set up. I'm just gonna work on this one. So start recording. And I'm just gonna apply it straight. Okay, so I need to remove the center. Oh, of course you're not gonna. There we go. And there we go. And I think this should let me. Vertices. That should be 16, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Perfect. So I'm just gonna yeah, it affected the whole thing, which is fine. That And I'm just gonna go circle, and that should now make them perfect circles again. And then this this cleanup is going to be hella fun. So I need to do that. Z. And I can't just mirror this. This can't just be one mirrored piece. Wait, hold on. Okay, it's doing it right. Do that. Yes. Yes. So all it's going to do is just going to modify where these pieces are. Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to work on this one. So I think it's this one I can delete. Vertices, and then, oh crap. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to, because I just realized that it's off-centered there. That's fine though. I can just re-copy and paste it. Oh, I deleted the wrong one. Interesting. That's fine. I'm gonna stop there, because we need to change perspectives again. Right. Okay. Come on, move. Move. Okay, so that should just be fine to render. And then, so now I just gotta focus on this piece. So brain is freezing. I think that's it. Right, I just needed to save a new version. It must be that time of day when my brain is like, okay, you need to stop and eat. Okay, so that's set up. That's, yeah, okay, that's perfect. But I would like to give it some, actually no, let me, I'm hitting that point again where I want it to be a little darker. Excuse me. Just a tad to bump the contrast. So that means that the light needs to Okay, this light also needs to calm down. Needs to calm down. More. And you could calm down a little bit. Okay, I mean it's dark enough, you don't notice it. I don't want it to be too... I've got lots of editing to look forward to that I keep like setting aside. But I'll get there. Okay. So all I'm doing now is just moving this ain't gonna be fun, this ain't gonna be fun. Oh, I'm really hoping this works out. Okay, so GXGY. You know what, it's just occurring to me. What I should just do is use this. Instead of moving everything, I can just move. So this, I would move it down to right, and then I could delete this. Okay, I do need to separate these elements. So I'm gonna do that. Oh, nope, wrong one. Oh, nope, wrong one. This one. Oh, wait, what's going on? There we go. So now... Okay, so that's that there. Then I can do this. Okay, and then these I can get rid of. No, not yet. Let's not jump that gun. Okay, okay, there we go. And that goes there. I feel like this will be so much quicker. Okay, there Okay, and then what this will allow me to do is I can now just start deleting. Okay, and then I'll sort that out in a moment. What's, okay, I guess I'm just supposed to, take that, right? I hope so. Yes, I think I should be taking that, delete that, and then I think, ooh, what are we doing? Okay, let's go for the more obvious ones. But I think that goes straight. And then you just join straight. Actually, no, yeah, so wait, yes. This becomes the final one, and this triangular piece then becomes... Where's the triangular piece? That's this piece. But you're not joining there. Okay, and then, so what that means then is that I should just delete these. And then what I should do is then take that. So it will be that piece. And probably this piece, if I'm being honest. Okay. And then just SX0, SX0. What's going on? What's going on? I do think that needs to be something else. Why aren't these SX0? Median point SX0. There we go. Okay, because now, see, that's now set right. This needs to. Let's put you GX. So that does that, and then you EX. I'm not gonna get too married to what those forms are. I think if I try to just stick to it 100%, I'm only gonna set myself up for a headache. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna follow the flow of this. EX SX0 GX. Because for the most part I'm keeping that design language, so I don't want to stress myself out too much. Yeah, I know that it's to, because I do know that it should be that it should be this, not. I'll figure out what happens underneath. It's such a small difference though, but I also don't want to just set it aside. So okay, I mean it shouldn't be perfect, but at least it will. Okay, so now I can go do that. Cursor to selected. 3D cursor. Cursor to selected. 3D cursor. 3D cursor. So that won't be 100% match, but it will definitely be close enough for me to join with. And then I'm gonna set you to, actually no, that's right, and then GX, and that is that on that. That angle is horrible. Oh, it's easily one of my worst screens in a very long time. But you know what, maybe like that gives me room to put something there, so I may have just created an opportunity for myself, so it's fine. Okay. Ooh, that was a long one. But at least it is just one of, it's a nice thing when I guess it's a little bit one of those situations where you evaluate like the triangle of expectations, where you can get two but you can't have the one, and it's always a toss-up of you really would like all three, but you got to choose the one that you give up to get, or to get the win. And in my particular case, it's always I may not know how to finesse the software 100%, but if I give up that little bit of time, I can figure it out the longer way. And because the commitment is there to make it a good looking solid product, it will get there. It's just a matter of it's going to take a little longer to get it and to get it right. But it is, I'm really trying to not hold on to the idea of what I set up with this geometry, with all of these, because it's not going to be that. But I don't want that to make me feel like, oh, I'm losing. See, we're in that situation again where I wanna set that as the axis and mirror that, because that will give me that really nice transition there. Oh, I guess it won't be there, it'll be somewhere here. I really want to take the mirror of that. I guess I do have that, don't I? Right there. Haha! Okay, cool, sweet. I just need to lower that. So I'll just lower all of these points. No, actually, I'll take it exactly as it is that way. And just copy it over there. Just so I have that transition still, where it's higher there. So it joins nicely with that. Yeah, because what needs to happen here is that that's wrong. It should be... Actually, no, I'll get to define what that is now. So, but I do want to keep it consistently. I mean, at this point, I don't know why it would be that. Because that would go... Okay. Just wondering now if you really need to be... Okay, so let's do this. And that's where you are there. That's where you are there. I don't know, this could be an interesting little section. So let us be up the figuring out. Yeah, is it? Okay, hate it. Hate it so much. Okay, so what I should do is remove all of that. And then just close. Ooh, what are you doing? Do. Okay, so that's selected and that's one. And then, yeah, that just does that. It just sails across. 40 dar. So, you're too fat for me. I'm too fat for you. Okay. Right, we had this situation. I think that can keep its cut off language. I think that can still be fine. Can that stay solid or does it create too much yeah, this ball here is not doing God's work. Ooh, hate it so much. Okay, maybe there's a vertex situation here. If anything, that shouldn't be there. So, this shouldn't be here anymore. But I don't want to delete. I can delete that because that joins back anyway. But the question is why. I know why the wait. Okay, there is two lines. Okay, maybe it's just these lines that are throwing me off visually because I think the surface is still smooth. Okay. I mean, it's all fine. Actually, no, wait. Bro, my preview is so deceptive. Oh, okay, no, it was right. That's what it ended up with, but I guess it makes sense because it's the end of the clip as well, so... I just thought this is what the perspective was the whole time, but really, everything was still mostly around the middle. Okay, cool. This is going well. Okay, so that's going. I really want to... Maybe, do you know what? I think maybe this is the part where instead of trying to do a whole bunch of finagling, I should just... This is where I should try solidify it a bit more, so... Instead of trying to join some funny, weird gymnastic, I can just... At this point... that can be part of the flat face, so that can stay open and that can cantilever over this way. I'll close this up and then it joins with it there, and then this inner section here can be flat for now, and then I can start to open it up once I know how everything else is interacting with it, because I do want to keep... Like, see, I like that's a lot cleaner, and I'm going to clean that up there, and then I'm going to take this geometry here. Yeah, because you see what happens here, I've forgotten to implement here, so I'll just use this as a guide to fix it, but I can't do it yet because the camera isn't there. So what I'll do is I will, for now, focus back in on this part. Yeah, no, what I'll do is I'll just start dropping these. Okay, I'll figure it out. But I'll do something with these pieces. Start to visually combine them. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, no, I'll just start combining bits there, and it's probably best that I just select this geometry here and mirror it over, not to use exactly, but to as height. I don't know, I guess I don't need to because it's right there. I just need to... Yeah, let me not complicate things. This is already so confusing. So I'm just gonna start visually combining these two just to see, because this essentially should be a separate piece. Oh, right. And it's not even that piece. Okay. Let's make sense. If I delete this, yeah. It is the not gradation. So why is this? Calculator, storage, reset vectors. There we go. Okay. Got it. Yeah, okay, so that'll be what I do next. So I'll start with that and then I'll move over to this. And that'll essentially get me to the point where this piece is defined, because then when we spin back round, I do need to see. What would be really nice is if I use this exact same one. But the thing is though, is there's that thing about in order to get like a flush consistent inset, you also need to consider your thickness or the radius. So see, my idea would be just to take that geometry and just move that there, but that's wrong because actually wait, it's wrong, but I do like that that's a different width to that, because the thing is, in order for that to be a consistent wrap, I'd need to shrink this by the difference in the two radii to get that consistent wrap, but that I prefer so much more. And I would also need to use that. I want to use this too. Depends where. Oh, there it is. Oh, it's the wrong one. Oh no. Which one would I use here? Because I want to. Oh, okay. I guess. Oh, I don't have it. Actually, hold on. SX minus 1. SZ minus 1. No. I'm trying to get something that does that. It would have been the thing I would have had here. No. Brain, catch up. Okay, not yet. I don't have to figure that out right now, but you get the gist. But that I'll figure out just now. This, the first thing I gotta fix is essentially that, so it does that. Because right now I've just gone straight up and forgotten that that's what that was doing. So that's messing up everything else. So that's right. But it should. Yeah, I don't know. I'll figure it out. Okay, if that's the case, then I would like more time. So I think that'll buy me time, because that's not a limitation here. Thanks, Omer. Sorry, I almost just shouted at you. Yeah, so that's 5. Okay, I'm ready to go on this one. Let's just check why my GPU is doing. Oh, my GPU is doing that thing. Oh no! Wait, have I rendered this clip? Confusion. Oh, it's a long clip. I don't see it. I'm not sure if I've rendered it. Okay, well, hold on. Oh no. Okay, let's see how it ends. I really do need to check this, sorry. Okay, it ends. Okay, so, oh, that's the one that ends very clunky. And then did I... Right, this needs to be checked. And it ends clunky. Okay, cool. If I'm at the point where I've forgotten if I've done a clip or not, we are reaching the end of the stream. Delete that. Delete that. And then I'm gonna hit record. And we are on our way. Okay, so what I want to do first is I'm going to turn off the sub D modifier because that is not my friend right now. And then I need to, so damn bright. Okay, so what have I done wrong here? So this is the original, the correct one. These are too high, right? Yes. Well, technically they're not. They're the right height, it's just they're happening sooner. It's this that's going too high. Okay, that's fine. It's so confusing. But I don't have to worry about that right now. What I need to do is, so these are going to be okay, and then I'll drop it again. And then I'll drop it again. So that will be where EY. So that's where those will join. Why does it look like it's shifted over? Oh, because that's the incorrect one, right? Yes. Right, okay. I don't know if I should delete this. It's gone now. Okay, and then this as well, this needs to... Okay, I'm just gonna leave this part of it. Again, the less I try to stay married to certain existing elements. What the? What am I doing? This is wrong. Yeah, that's wrong. So that... This... okay. This needs to be gone. Actually, no. Oh, what am I doing? No, this is right. This is right. I'm confusing myself here. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. Then it's gonna be SX0 GX, and then at this point, oh, then I gotta do this. And I'm gonna do it again. Actually, no, hold on. SZ0 GZ SZ0 GZ. Okay, so then I need to do that. Okay, that closes that. Then this. Okay, so then this means that that closes there. So I'm just gonna, hold on, let's just hide these. Just so we can stay visible. Okay, then that goes. And then I'll clean it up later. And then for now, what I'll do is I'll just do that. Not sure why that's there. And then I'll do the same. Okay, so then this means that needs to go. And I'm confused about what I need to do now. So I might as well do that. Okay, so now what I can do is start to, okay. Actually, this is perfect. I think it'll just let me. No, it won't. Okay, wait. This is where it gets tricky. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna SX SY -1. So now this, at least this part, this is that. This can be the top of it. I'm just not sure. Actually, no, I am sure. This needs to line up with the outermost point. So it's G, Y. There. I think. No, it's not. It's not. It's not. It is not. So I think I really wanted to line up with that. This is really confusing. It's so confusing. But I do know. I'm gonna stop here. Because we are now back to the fun side. I will figure out what to do with the front, but I do know that that's what those pieces need to do, at the very least, for now. So let me Okay, so now we can move. This is going to be a focal point, and I can ooh, that is some nice contrast. That lighting is hitting. Okay, but I do need to lower it a bit. I think no, probably not, actually. Actually, no, yes. Perfect. The lighting is so... I love it when the environment just sort of like grades off to black, because it really sort of makes the color pop. But just a quick check. From the start of the stream to where we are now, it feels like very little has changed, but I did get to sort of handle or start to get a handle on what this needs to be doing. I do know that the extent of this I need to... It was probably there, actually. Yeah. This shouldn't be going up again. And with that said, actually, I should move that across so I have more room to work on that too. Because I really should be taking advantage of the fact that I can render longer clips. Okay, halfway. What else? Okay, so this... That's going to be a very abrupt change. So maybe I should look at I should look at maybe how I can make that smoother. Because I do know one of the options is to round that corner or round that turn. So that's just more rounded and softer, but maybe right now I'm not seeing, or you know what, I can set this in. So I'll continue with, I'll delete these faces. That continues on the side, so it's closer to that edge, but joins in there. And then this goes straight down and sits in. Just so there's some shadow work happening at this point. I think that'll be a lot better than just that abrupt big face, middle face, last face. It'll be a stepping down, and you get to this. It will make for a nice corner. And I don't know, it will just add that symmetry back to that side. I think will be something that will be nice. And it's not too crazy. It's not like a new thing that I'm doing. It's just bringing back something old. So I definitely think that this needs to go. And then that should actually just be closed like that. It's so weird how I couldn't see it that way at the time. It's like, no. But now that it just makes sense that that's what needs to happen. Right. But we're getting there. We're getting there. Like really close now. And I think this is just the part where it gets a little bit sort of like mentally challenging. Hold on. Did I just... No, I didn't, did I? No, I didn't. No, I didn't. So that's low. Okay, wait, so actually, wait, and then R, RY. And then SX -1. So that goes from low to high. And I've basically got the same piece again. It only needs to be higher on that side, so what I'm doing here is just not seeing that. I probably got it figured out already, which is fine. So I think that's where we were. Now let's do a quick check. I always just need to check these. Actually, I don't know what it is about this project that makes these longer recordings smoother. But hey, I will not complain about it. Okay, cool. So I've got that selected. Need to delete. Okay. Don't know what it is, but I've got the stamina to keep going with this today. Okay, so as I said, if I wanted to get a consistent wrap at this point, I'd need to consider the thickness between there and that point, and then scale it down by that factor in order to get a smaller rounder thing. But I actually want to keep that shape where it's thinner there versus there. I just think that's just gonna look better. But I am now also seeing that I forgot to clean, well, I say clean, but this, I mean, what is this? I'm just going to G-stretch these. And then I'm going to space these. What I should do is probably G-stretch these two. But I should get rid of that. Okay, I should just G-stretch these two. For the most part, they are lining up. G-stretch. Right. And then if I try to flatten you, will you work? Yes, you will. Okay, so at least that will now just read better when the mod is turned on. Okay, so now this is going to go, but I'm going to use it as a placeholder. What I'm trying to do okay, first I need to remember, I need to decide actually, do I want the back side here to be more like this or more like that? And my answer to that question is I'd prefer it be this, because as I said, I am gonna use this geometry here to make it more of a plate versus trying to do this fancy stuff again, which I can always bring back later. But I think for now, just having a regular plate that's probably this thickness is going to be a lot simpler to sort of plan around and delete and edit versus trying to move these things around. So I think I am just going to move this in place and then just if that's the case, I need time. Oh, that's great. Yeah, I need the time to figure that out. That's what I'm after. Oh man, no, 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 no. Should have planned this out a bit more before. Yeah, it's not gonna. Actually, if I hold on. Hold on. Hold on. As said. Yes. Yes. Okay, Blender. You wait, hold on. You just gave me the exact same piece. If I -1. Ah man, you are not doing the thing that I want. Do you know what I think? I want. I think. Let's do this, and then let's see RY. Oh, 180. And then 180. Does that give me what I want? I mean, kind of. But that's essentially that piece. What do I want? I essentially want the reverse of that. So let's see. Oh, I said I want hold on. This is gonna be interesting. RZ 180. RZ 180. Do you know what? I just realized how stupid I'm being. Dwarf. So the reason why it's messing me up is that I'm forgetting that I'm keeping this whole section low. Bug. So I can delete that. And the reason why it's confusing me is because oh, yuck. Okay, but then I think okay, so then so that goes away. I feel like I'm remixing this a bit much, but hopefully. This is why I was confused. I'm trying to reconcile geometry that isn't going to be there. It really is that late, late in the day. Why aren't you behaving? Okay, so what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Okay, I'll fix you shortly. It shouldn't ball out like that. It should G Y, like that's what it should do. G Y. Oh, okay, so G Y G Y G Y. Is that right? Yes. G Y G Y. So now that's straightened out like that. And then I go GY. So it looks messy right now, but it is correct for what I wanted to do. Wait, what's this? Are you the right height? Yes. You're just not the right creasage. So now let's just have a look. Oh, okay. I don't have this. I mean, I could. I probably should, and I can return that. That's fine. But what this now does is, all I need to do here to relieve my confusion is to delete these. This is why I was so confused. It's that change in height that was confusing things. All I need to do here is just make all of it flat. Oh, okay, technically I'll make all of it flat first. Take it to that height, and then take this outer edge to this height. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so that means I do need to oh, it makes it wider, is it? Or does it? I don't know. What does it all mean? Okay, so you. Okay, so I need to clean this up first. I think it's just as simple as but also okay, so now I just need to get a nice blend between okay, so I don't know if these are acting up. No, that's right. Okay, so I now need to actually, let's do this. What's going on? What's going on? There we go. Okay, bins. Me forgetting that these need to be separated again. Okay, you are hindering my vision. Okay, that's what I need to do. I need to phase this. Okay, so that's the correct one there. And then you know, when the brain starts braining. Booyakasha. Okay. Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? Okay, so this one's fine, because what I can do here is actually yes. And that is how I made this model. Okay, so okay, I'm gonna join these now. I'm gonna join them. And then I do know that I need to separate them again. Oh, these are not the same model. Where are they separated though? It doesn't matter. I think what I'll do, I will just lift it there. Oh, that's right. that SYSX0 GX just start closing these off to confuse myself less. I think I can delete you now. I will remember you. Okay. I feel like that's where they need to get deleted. It's fine though. For now, I just need to... No. Okay, these are nice because I know I need them later on for those other pieces. So getting these, not a train smash. It is not a smash of trains. I think this gets deleted, and then that I'm just gonna, that's just gonna get dones. And then I love when the view lines up. But at least for now, is that too low? It is what I say it is. So that's that. Oh, that's too far. Bite. Hold on. There's room to play. There's room to play. I really want to take that and put that there, just so these are visually separate. Or there's a... No, stop. I'm being extra now. I'm being far too extra. Okay, so this is where it separates. Okay, oh yeah, I created these so I had something to overlap onto. Okay. So now... G, X... And then I can now just drop, drop. I can drop you like that, I can drop it like that. Okay. Oh, I enjoy this part of this far too much. There's something so satisfying about solving this on the polygon level. It's like a puzzle being put back together. Okay, and then you actually no, that's yeah. Okay, so right, that's what I was saying about that, is that I've got all of these, and then I'm sure I can figure something out. Right, okay, I know what I'm doing there, but I'm wondering if I'm gonna do it for this one. But for now, I'm just gonna close this. Oh wait, are you at an angle? Yes, you are. GX. Okay, and then that's essentially going to be the closure of that piece. I don't know if these are hidden. No, they are not. But I do need to do that, do that. Oh wait, no, these do get... close it. I remember why those were closed. Okay, so then recalculate outside, reset vectors. Oh yeah. Okay, so this is now we're really close to finishing this first piece. Oh man, that came out nice. So I just need to figure out a way how I'm going to close that. And my brain says I just need to delete a whole bunch of stuff here. And then just extrude a lot of these. Or just that. Close that. Close that. I really do want to like downset that. But I must scold myself for wanting to be extra. Gotta keep these, forget that these need to stay simple to make them more usable in general. And then I need to figure out what that's gonna be, because that ain't looking too neat, governor. This needs one more, so let's do that. SX0, GX. Oh, that's not good. Oh, can't even see that anymore. Okay, so then that means okay, that means I can start deleting this. So I'm going to delete that. And then I'm going to take these. And then I'm going to stop there. Stop recording. Let's quickly set that up. Ooh, 2 gigs. I went for a long time on that one. Okay. Yo, a minute long. Ungroup, delete. Okay, that's gonna take a while. Okay, so for this, let's just change. Let's just change angle. Okay, I think we definitely want to go flat wall. Oh yes, oh yes, yes. Okay. Just so we can get a nice yeah, there's definitely something I've done wrong here. That should, okay, so this should just go out. Okay, no, but I'll figure that out now. Yeah, oh, it's so much worse. So you definitely see where I've gone wrong here. Oh, right, so I just kept that flat when that should have also been... Got me. Okay, then that would have been the issue here as well. But not anymore, because it's perfect. Okay, so... That's going to be flat. I don't know if I'll do that today, but... Right now, I just want to set up what this and that joint happens to be, and then that'll be the same for this side. These are separate. Okay, I should just join these now. Yeah. Okay, so I'll do. Yeah, no, I'll join them. Just so it's more clear that these are. And then I also need to think about the connecting elements, but not just yet. Excuse me. Oh, what's going on here? What's going on? What's going on? Okay. Let me fix that right now. And in order to do that, I will just select both. Ooh, hate this. Okay. G being that close to H is criminal good. Okay, technically these. Okay. Yeah, these probably aren't the same height. Ooh, what happened to you? Yikes. Okay, but why is it going so low? Ah, there we go. Look, why is it going down so far? Ah. Why do you do this to me? I really have a good feeling about this one. Just gonna be one of those nice because this piece as it stands, like right now, I could do so many nice things with this one and just use it as a like if I were to create like a polygon matrix and then at all the nodes of it put something like this and then join that geometry, that could be really nice. So I almost want to save this as its own thing, but for now I just need to clean this up. Okay, that should have fixed it. There we go. Oh, Alt H. Alt H. I shall Alt H. Right. That's, I have to do that everywhere. It has to be everywhere. Okay, and I have, this is the space to do it. This is so much nicer than this mess that I'm doing here. So I'm gonna, I think once we get to maybe this point in the rotation, I'll start to fix that. But for now, I'm addressing, crap, I think it's this. It's just addressing that. Because this will be a piece when it's done. Like this will be one piece, and then the other half will be a variation of that. And this one's center needs to be put somewhere here. Let me do that now. And we've got time. So I'm gonna take that. And then just move that GX. I'm actually going to leave that there as well. Okay, so now that's centered on that. The hell? And that's it. Well, this does have its own sort of niceness, but that other one is so much better. Are we done? Are we done? Are we done? Ooh, this one, yeah, it got me. So right there. So I got that part, now I just need to do that to it. But I at least fixed the issue. It's actually nice just to take a break from the wider project and solve this for now. Because it was getting really complex. Or it already was, but it was getting worse in the sense that what I was working with wasn't solid enough for it to be, okay, well, that can only do this or that. It was still very much up in the air. So at least now that I've sorted this out, it brings its own limitations that help me make decisions about the rest so much easier. So it's that constant zoom in, zoom out, zoom in, zoom out. And today definitely felt like a zoom in day. I was not I was not ready. So what I'm gonna do now, I think we set up, yeah, this is the next view. Okay, so I'm just gonna jump straight into closing that piece off. And how is that looking? It's looking clearly nice. Oh, hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I think that might be better. Yes, I think that might be better. And that joins in nice and, well, pretty much nice and neatly with that. And it's not just a complete straight down. I think that might be... I mean, it doesn't... No, I think that might be a better one. Because, I mean, the only difference between this and this one is that my plan was just to maybe do like a bevel that would have been that height. Just to make it more of a more like orthogonal style machined element. But maybe this... Because I am going to chip chop these still, in terms of just carving away more. But I think, I don't know, I feel like this one might be nicer. But I'm going to revisit this one. For now, let me just stick to the plan, because I am going to change this still. And I might just be overcomplicating it by doing that. So, and the thing is though, when I do this change it to reflect this. See now, I'm just imagining that here, and how that this little tiny space here will speak nicely to this little... Actually, then if that's the case, then maybe I wanted to terminate there. I don't know. I shall see. But for now, we're taking that in, and then I'll close the element up there, and probably fix this. So let's get going on that. So there's that. Why are you SX0? GX. Ooh. Right. Got it. For a while, for a second, I was confused. I was over confusion. And then what I'll do for now is I'll just drip drop it. Actually, I'll drop it there and then drop it again. And then actually, that's a nice one. Nuh-uh. Yay. So this one is X, no, it's Y. I always get these wrong. That's GY, that's GY. Okay, so that's fine. And then now I gotta heal with these. So I'm gonna zoom back out again. And I think, yeah, this needs to be so that's gonna be that point there, and then that'll be the limit of cheese. Uh-oh. There we go. And then that goes EZ, F, F, And if anything, what I should do is align that with that, and then I need to go back here, do that as 0. So GX, so that's where you should be, and then I do another EX, and then that's where that joins. Okay. Like that. And I'll hide you again. Something is off. No, but the rotation is perfect. Anyway. It has to be this one. Oh, these are not the same height. These are not of the heightage. SX0 GX. Why aren't these? Why are these acting brand new? Actually, let's see. The best way I can test that is just to. So you're the culprit. You are the culpritation. EX. Okay, and then these. This. Okay, as long as I got my clearance for that, I'm fine with that. Oh, much further. Okay, okay, so that's that. will look nice and neat there. I think I should just start doing that. I'll address that later. Now I gotta get to this side as soon as possible. Okay, so now right, I need to, what am I gonna do with this? Oh, let's actually do that now. So I'm gonna add the bosses. The bosses. So I'm gonna no. Shift A, mesh cylinder. I'm gonna make it 8. Actually, you might need to be 16. I have that feeling it might need to be 16. Because this is going to be where the screws go in. I really should just take the ones I made for the drone synth and just add them here. But I never felt better. Okay, bigger. Definitely bigger. Make it nice and reasonable. Okay. And then I'll stop there. Because I need to zoom in. That's looking a lot better and smoother in the recording. At least from like a shape, a form perspective. So hello Alex. A cusp edge. Look at you making me Google things now. I don't know what you mean by that. I hope what you mean is what I've done. Let's see if cusp edge yields anything from a Google. Okay, I see teeth. Were you saying something about my teeth? I'm hoping that we are on the same page with regards to what you're saying and what I've done. Because I did want there not to be just a one angle to another. I wanted there to be a step down of sorts. So am I right in saying what you meant by cusp edge is the situation here? I'm not sure though. I hope so. Yes, hello. Yes, okay, cool, perfect. Okay, good, me too. Because I had to Google that. I was like, oh no. What is it? What else don't I know? Okay, cool. Well, I'm happy about that. Yeah, no, I think it looks better. Anything that sort of makes light and shadow do things is a good thing, especially at those intersections between shapes. It's always like you might as well draw attention to it a bit more. So I'm just going to set up this this render, and okay. Right, okay, so I think I'll definitely need 2 here. Like one closer to this and one closer to that. You'd also do it for the transition itself. Even in CAD software, some are just annoying to make pretty. your and that's the thing with CAD, isn't it? Is that it makes that sort of stuff so much easier to even consider doing. Because I can't tell you the number of times like I've had an idea and I just thought what a nightmare that would be to model it the way that I model stuff. But now it's just more and more I like doing this sort of stuff on stream because I'm forced to sort of find that solution, especially with using this tool to set my own axes has just made so many little things so much easier to do. But I do see what you're saying, that there might be something to still do here. And I think, you know what? I think I can bring this line in. Let me actually just do that now. I think I can bring this line in. I don't know how yet, but I'm sure there's a way I can tie things in. Maybe, because the other thing I can do, what I can do is if this is going to, if I'm filleting that, oh, is it fillet? Bevel. No, it's bevel. If I'm beveling that, maybe I can have like a flat, maybe I can take this in further so that becomes where that gets set in. I'm just wondering now. Actually, no, that might be a good thing to do. I might just do that. Just go really ham with it so this is not as wide. Because it's wide on the inside, it doesn't need to be wide on the outside here. I like that. I think I'll do that. So I need to zoom in. And then so this is 8. How's that looking in the... Ooh, that is looking slick in the viewfinder. Okay. Oof. Yeah, I should be checking this view. Perfect. Okay. So I will... Do you know what? I'm going to call it here. One, I'm approaching my 3rd hour and I have not eaten. So I am going to call it here while this render is going. Next week, I'm going to finish this. I am going to finish these 2 pieces. I think I've got enough set up. I'm looking forward to figuring out how I'm going to close this up, because there's a mount that needs to be here. Yeah, no, it is in its way, but it's I like it when it gets this complicated, because it's like a chance to practice those intersections and transitions, because then I can just do them instinctually later in other projects, because a lot of the times you don't think to do something till you've had to do it. So when it gets complicated like this, like I get a little excited, because then that means that, well, I'm committing to do it, and it's just a matter of seeing what done looks like when it's done. Because like I said earlier, like it can take as long as it needs to, but as long as it gets done, then at least I'll be able to see, okay, now I can take that pattern and apply it elsewhere. So I am looking forward to finishing these 2, because these are just going to be standalone elements I can add to the asset pack as individual pieces, because I really want to grow this collection for this edition. So it's not just the foot. The foot creates one piece, another piece, and then there's a whole bunch of other pieces that I'm going to be making too. So more of this is fun, because I mean you can then take these and they can become their own sort of parts of a composition. later for building up their own little thing. So this is why, like, I don't mind it as much, because I'm going to get more than just the solution out of it. It's going to help fill out the asset pack as I go along. Yeah, the isolating the things was definitely something that I realized I had to do today. I did want to look at the full project. I was just not feeling like I had the stamina for it today. So I just said focus on these two simple pieces. I mean, they're not finished, but they're a lot further along than they were when I started today, and they're a lot simpler as well. So once I've simplified these, I can zoom back out and be able to solve the other problems with something that's a lot more concrete than what I had before. Because right then everything was still very much up in the air. But thanks for stopping by. And yeah, that's it for today's stream. If you want to see more streams, I've got 2 more streams being set up for this week. There's one on Wednesday on my Rumble. I'll have that link set up on either end of Tuesday or on Wednesday, because Rumble doesn't let you schedule streams more than 24 hours before the stream if you're still a newbie or you're not like a premium sub. Where I'll be continuing work on the oil sampan. Progress on that is in a very nice place. The last place that I got to with that is this is as far as I am now with the oil sampan. It's also in its own sort of complicated space. I started adding the bosses for the bolts, and I was figuring out this element here. That took it out of me. that took me to the streets. But I got it to work at least to a point where I can now just manually sort of join the topology and stuff. So this project is almost at the final sort of clean up the topology stage. But man, it's definitely one of my favorites. So that's going to be on Wednesday on Rumble. I will paste the link here on YouTube just before the stream starts. I just think you need a Rumble account. You don't need to be signed in or anything. And then on Friday, I'm going to be streaming on Patreon. And on Patreon, I think I showed this in the beginning of the stream, but this is just for if you want to see anything else this week. So Friday, same time that I started today, I'll be continuing work on this project, where I think what I'm going to do is it's going to be adding this sort of language to as much of the rest of it as possible. And then I also want to continue to place the hinges and then figure out what I want to do with these arms, because that was just there as a placeholder. So this Friday I really want to sort of clean up that language, develop it a bit more, get the hinges in. And I think I want to incorporate whatever this is doing to these. No, don't feel obligated. I'll just do this at the end of every stream for anyone who wants to see more. But thanks, I really do appreciate you stopping by and for your help. So I do need that stamina, and I do need to go eat now. I mean, the sun's already set. So yeah, that's it for me for today. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.